What makes PM Narendra Modi to dismantle the demand-driven MGNREGA? In 2015, Modi wanted to keep it as living monument of Congress failure. Author Dr. Gyan Pathak. The Union Government of India is set to introduce Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajeevika Mission, Gramin, Bill, VBG-Ramji, in the Lok Sabha, which will mark the end of the current Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, 2005, under which demand-driven MGNREGA scheme is being kept alive, if we are to believe Prime Minister Narendra Modi's own words. The demand-driven MGNREGA scheme framework will be dismantled and a new, supply-driven scheme will be introduced under the new law. On 27 February 2015, PM Modi has made a statement on his own in the Parliament of India while replying to the discussion on motion of thanks to the President's address. I keep hearing talk that the government is planning to scrap MGNREGA, or already has. I know that you doubt my experience in many areas, but I am sure you will admit that I have political acumen. My political acumen tells me that MGNREGA should not be shut down. I will not make such a mistake because MGNREGA is a living monument of your failure. Truly, he kept the MGNREGA scheme only alive and never allowed it to be implemented as it was desired. Year after year its budgets were curtailed, and implementation was made difficult by introducing several technological and other procedural methods into it, purportedly to check corruption in the scheme. As we see now, MGNREGA scheme is being very badly implemented, as if government was committed to reduce the scheme as Congress failure, since it was brought by the union government led by Congress. The scheme was being sabotaged by the union government, alleged the Congress Parliamentary Party Chairperson Sonia Gandhi in Rajya Sabha on 10 months ago on 18 March 2025. She was accusing PM Modi-led government during 0 hour of systematically undermining MGNREGA scheme. MGNREGA scheme was the flagship poverty alleviation program introduced by the United Progressive Alliance, UPA, government led by the late former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh on 2 February 2006, and the act was passed in September 2005. MGNREGA budget allocation in 2006-7 was 11,300 crore rupees, which rose to 33,000 crore rupees in 2013-14. At current prices, the gross domestic product, GDP, in 2006-7 was 37.9 lakh rupees crore, and in 2013-14 it was 113.55 lakh rupees crore. Therefore, percentage of allocation in the MGNREGA scheme was around 0.29 for both the year. What happened later to the scheme under PM Modi? The MGNREGA scheme was allocated 86,000 crore rupees for 2024-25, which remains stagnant in at 86,000 crore rupees in 2025-26. The GDP for the year 2025-26 has been estimated on current price at 3,56,97,923 rupees as against revised estimate for the year 2024-25 at 3,24,11,406 crore rupees. Thus, MGNREGA scheme allocation for 2024-25 as percentage of GDP was 0.26, and for 2025-26 it is 0.24. The data speaks for itself. Sonia Gandhi had rightly said that the budget allocation remains stagnant at 86,000 crore rupees, a 10-year low as percentage of GDP, despite the scheme being a crucial safety net for millions of rural poor, adding that it is deeply concerning that the present BJP government has systematically undermined the scheme. When adjusted for inflation, the union budget allocation has effectively declined by 4,000 crore rupees for the year 2025-26, Sonia Gandhi pointed out, adding, moreover, estimates suggest that nearly 20% of the allocated funds will be used to clear pending dues for previous years. Sonia Gandhi had also pointed out that in 2024-25 MGNREGA workers got on an average 44.62 days of work at the notified rate of 279 rupees per day. Sonia Gandhi had then demanded a wage of at least 400 rupees per day and 150 days of work in place of the legally promised 100 days a year. MGNREGA workers have been demanding work of 200 days in a year. Under the MGNREGA, government was supposed to give work to the rural jobless on demand, a framework that is being dismantled under the new VBG-Ramji bill, which will introduce a new supply-driven scheme framework. What made the PM to change his mind, and why he is going to replace MGNREGA? It is politics, nothing else, to have a Congress Mukt Bharat, his cherished dream. Obviously, it has little to do with rural labours. The proposals in the VBG-RAM-G bill shows it clearly. Under the new supply-driven framework, allocations will be capped within a fixed budget which the centre will determine. Moreover, employment will be provided only in rural areas notified by the centre. It reminds us the political rivalry of the West Bengal government and the centre, which led to non-implementation of MGNREGA in the state. Centre had stopped sending funds to the state. Courts had to intervene in the matter, leading to significant legal rulings by both the Calcutta High Court and the Supreme Court of India. In June 2025, the Calcutta High Court ordered the centre to resume the scheme in West Bengal from 1 August 2025. The Union government appealed the High Court's decision to the Supreme Court. In October 2025, the Supreme Court dismissed the centre's plea, upholding the Calcutta High Court's order and clearing the way for the scheme to resume. Now the new bill empowers the centre to notify where the new scheme will be implemented, just to bypass the judicial scrutiny. It also means the universal implementation of the MGNREGA in entire rural areas across the country will be limited to only certain areas where centre will choose to implement. The VBG-RAM-G bill increased the legally promised 100 days to 125 days. It is too little, which is not enough for any worker to feed their family for whole year, even if they are actually allowed the promised work days. Let us recall that last year in 2024-25, MGNREGA workers were given only 44.62 days work on an average, a dismal performance of the Modi government. Given this track record, it is highly doubtful that Modi government will give 125 days of promised work. Sabotaging a scheme has numerous shades. Consider this one. States are already fund-starved. Currently, under the MGNREGA, in practice centre and states' share in funding the scheme is 90-10%. However, under the provision, centre is responsible for 100% of the labour wages and 75% of the material costs. The rest of the expenditure is to be shared by the states. However, under the VBG-RAM-G bill, share of states is proposed to be significantly increased from 10% to 40%. It means Modi government is considerably shifting its financial responsibility on states by reducing its share from 90% to just 60%. For Northeast India and other Himalayan states and UTs, such as Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and Jammu and Kashmir, the VBG-RAM-G bill says that centre and states' shares in funding will be 90-10%. Under the VBG-RAM-G bill, centre will have power to pause the scheme during peak agricultural season purportedly to facilitate availability of labour. It means rural labour will get work on centre's mercy. The technological interventions in the MGNREGA scheme, such as mobile app-based attendance system, geotagging, and Aadhaar-based payment system, which has been locking many labour out of work, will now be codified into law, though the digital framework for the entire workforce is not ready. Government is also bringing digital framework under Shram Shakti Niti 2025, the India's employment policy for 2025. It will further digitally lock out rural labour from work.